Active weather on the way for far western parts of the state. A bit of flooding possible as we go into Sunday. Everyone else, well, we get drought and fire. Let's talk about it in this Friday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Hi there, it is Friday, the 10th of October, 2025. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Baldy-in-Chief David Reimer. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to pop on in for some Texas weather information. We appreciate it, and we'll go ahead and get right into it. Here's the high-rise rapid refresh model for today, tonight, into Saturday and Saturday night. Now, for the most part, we're going to see a dry day across the state as we go through this afternoon and evening. Increasing cloud cover across the northwestern half of Texas tonight to Saturday morning. Going into Saturday proper into Sunday, we're definitely going to see a lot of rain as moisture from a remnant hurricane in the Pacific infiltrates Arizona, New Mexico, northern Mexico, and even far west Texas now around the borderland, in addition to Utah and Colorado. We're looking at increasing rain chances across El Paso by Saturday afternoon. Decent chance of rain Saturday night into Sunday, and some of that rain may be locally heavy with a risk of flooding. Otherwise, maybe a few showers in the Panhandle and West Texas with overall lighter rain totals. Nothing else expected across the rest of Texas. Fire weather conditions, well, today we're looking at very high to locally extreme fire danger. Southeast Texas, the Golden Triangle, East Texas, down to the coastal plains. Not your typical fire danger locations, but that's where we're going to have issues today, it looks like, and we're going to have to be very cognizant of that and keep a close eye on things. Fires could move more quickly and be more difficult to bring under control. On Saturday, we're expecting high fire danger, Southeast Texas, the Brazos Valley, East Texas, and then on Sunday, the eastern two-thirds of Texas. High fire danger is expected. Looking at the longer range pattern from the European weather model, we're going to have an area of high pressure set up shop across the eastern half of Texas early next week before that begins to infiltrate the remainder of Texas heading through Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to see that system result in the jet stream remaining well to our north and west, with the exception of far west Texas. That will keep a mostly dry and warm pattern in place for a majority of the state until we get into early next week, with rain chances again. Borderland to far west Texas, out into West Texas, the Panhandle, and with that we could also see some slightly cooler air. Here is the precipitation map. Going through the weekend, you could see, again, maybe some chance of rain. Northwestern third of the state on Monday. Outside of that, we may see a couple of showers in the Panhandle, West Texas, Tuesday afternoon and evening. Much of Wednesday and Thursday at this point are looking dry. So not much in the forecast for the eastern 75% of Texas, with any precipitation over the next 7 days confined to the western Texas Panhandle, West Texas, down into the Guadalupe Mountains, the Trans-Pecos, the Davis Mountains, and the borderland of far west Texas around El Paso. Here's the latest forecast rain totals from the Weather Prediction Center. Again, we could see a tenth to a quarter of an inch if we're lucky through 7 a.m. Wednesday across the Texas Panhandle and West Texas. We're looking at higher rain totals now of 1 to 2 inches, maybe a bit higher as we get into far west Texas. Van Horn, El Paso, up into the Guadalupe Mountains, we could see 1 to 2 inches of rain with locally higher amounts possible, and that could cause some flooding, especially if a lot of that rain happens to fall within a couple-hour period. Otherwise, the remainder of Texas, nothing on the map, not looking likely to see any of rain over a tenth of an inch, or even sprinkles at this point, over the next 5 to 7 days. Here's the high temperature forecast. Today, we're looking at highs in the 80s and 90s across the state. Same thing for Saturday. Sunday, a little cooler around the borderland of far west Texas around El Paso, thanks to all the rain and cloud cover, a high of 73 in El Paso. On Monday, as rain chances spread into the Panhandle and West Texas, we'll see cloud cover increase, temperatures come down, highs in the 60s and 70s for the most part across the Texas Panhandle, West Texas, into the borderland of far West Texas. The remainder of the state remains in the 80s and 90s, with mid to upper 90s across the Rio Grande Plains, South Texas. And then going into Tuesday, 80s and 90s, the southeastern 75% of Texas, with 70s holding firm in the Panhandle and West Texas. Taking a look at the longer range outlook, we are expecting hot weather to continue through at least mid-month as the upper level heat dome holds tough, bringing warm weather to hot weather across the state of Texas and the southern United States. Precipitation chances do not look good. Unless you're in far west Texas or the Panhandle, we're looking quite likely to remain dry, which will result in the drought continuing to increase and fire danger likewise increasing. Yesterday, we referred to this as a flash drought, and that's because after a relatively wet period of June and July, the faucet shut off completely, and the drought conditions, especially in terms of agricultural and fire danger, quickly increase, and that's why we call it a flash drought. It happens very quickly, especially with above average temperatures. Things dry out very quick, and your fire danger goes from little to SpaghettiOville real quick comparatively. And that's what we're already seeing underway now as initial attack activity increases substantially across the state of Texas. All right. It's Friday, which means it's time to give a shout out to our Spinny Doomer members here on the Texas Weather Center YouTube channel. A big thank you to Anthony R. Pelosi Jr., Christina West, Deanna, Donald Yellett, J.A., Justin S., Love Live Laugh, Manda Cakes, Mandy Kim, Mike Rich, Nancy Rosenberg, Knight Davis, Paranoid Pocho, r/Tornado Chats, who happens to be one of our amazing moderators, Rascals ZX2, S00 Petite, Tanya McGee, and Wendy Hall. Thanks, y'all, for being Spinny Doomers here on the Texas Weather Center. We'll keep a close eye on far west Texas and El Paso for heavy rain and flooding tomorrow and Sunday, and we'll also keep a close eye on the rest of the state for any wildfire issues as well. I'm actually in Ocean City, New Jersey this weekend, where we're going to be dealing with a major flooding event, it looks like, in a nor'easter. My parents live up here. So, well, we'll keep an eye out for some interesting stuff for me, and here's hoping I'm not waddling through the garage picking stuff up in a storm surge. No, that's not going to happen. That's why I'm here now doing it. So we'll be back bright and early on Monday with your next regular Texas Weather Roundup. But if we have issues this weekend, we'll be back with additional updates. So that's it, y'all. Thanks for watching. We'll be back bright and early. That's it. I'm done. Goodbye.